In the 1980s, a sociologist named Ray Oldenberg came up with the concept of the third place. But I think it's lacking, and I think there needs to be a fourth. Ray's idea is that there's a first, second, and a third place. The first place is your home. The second place is your work. And the third place is kind of like your social community. Think like a bar, a church, a friend group of some kind. But I think there needs to be a fourth place. And so I've put together this matrix, and let me see if I can explain it this way. See, I think there are places that you have to be in the short run, and then there are places you don't have to be in the short run. And then there are relationships that you're close with, and there are relationships that you're not really close with. So an example is this. In the first place, your home. You are obligated. You have to be there. It's important for you to be there in the short run. In the short run being, months. You can't just end your relationship with your family overnight. I know people do, but it's not. So there's that. Now, the opposite side of that spectrum is your work. You can switch. You can always go get another job. You can't get another family really quickly, but you can go get another job. And you're not really close with your coworkers. You might be friends, you might be acquaintances, but you're not close, if that makes any sense. So again, there's you're obligated, you need to be there, and you're close to them. And then over here in this part of the matrix, you're not obligated and you're not really close with them. And this is all in the short run, not in the long run, because everything can change in the long run. Now, the third place, your community, is you're close, but you're not obligated to be there. You don't have to be there. You choose to be there. And so you can switch. You can switch from bar to bar or from team to team if you're a bandwagon fan or something like that. So, but you're close with them. If that's your community, your church, whatever it is, you start to make a more meaningful, deeper relationship with that group than your work. So again, your family, your work, and your community is the third place. First, second, third. The fourth place. This is interesting to me, and I'm kind of fleshing this idea out. I don't really know. This is where you have to be there in the short run, and on top of that, you're not close with them. These are places where you're obligated to be with strangers for a period of time, typically very, very short period of time, from as short as like just a few minutes to a couple of hours, even days. A good example of this would be like, I'm just gonna jump right into it. My Uber, a plane, a bus, someplace in public where you're together with another person and you kind of have to meet each other. You don't have to be friends or anything else like that, but you're together. And that's why an Uber is a great example of this. And it's interesting because I think these all kind of go together and they're all changing dynamically right now because of, quite frankly, social media, computers, artificial intelligence. It's blurring and it's really weird. But that fourth place, again, you are obligated to be in the Uber because you paid for it. Like you have to be in the airplane because you're paying for it. And so you're sitting next to the person on the plane, the stranger. So it's where you're around strangers is ultimately what I'm getting at. It doesn't really work. It doesn't really work well, like in a scenario like, I don't know, walking down the street because it's so brief. If you just bump into somebody, all right? It might work a little bit better if you were to say like, not you're at a bar while you're traveling would be another. You're only going to temporarily have this relationship. It's never going to be permanent. So a server serving you, a checkout counter, a barista at a cafe when you're, at a strange place, but it's strangers. Ultimately, that's what I'm getting at is strangers. Now, why does all this matter? Why does all this matter? Well, let's take a look at home, the first place. It used to be home was a huge community. Like families would live near each other, but families are getting distant for a lot of reasons. And we're not going to get into that. But, my parents live down in Georgia. My wife's family lives in Hawaii. And I got sisters in Arizona. And I got family all over the world. Around me, the only family I have is really within this house. And my daughter lives right down the street. But It's like, but that's my family. And a lot of people, especially if you're younger, are living alone. You don't have family. You might have a pet, you might have a partner, but you're definitely a lot of people aren't living with their parents, and if you're young, your family is very it's you have a relationship with them, but that it's a digital relationship is what I'm getting at. Well, the same is true with work for a lot of people. If you work in an office, a lot of your work is digital. It's not a real face-to-face relationship. Even if they make you go into the office, you're still doing Zoom meetings and stuff like that. But a lot of people work remotely from home. And even for a guy like me, I do work in the public, but I only have me. I don't have like a boss at Uber. I don't have a coworker. I don't talk to other Uber drivers when I'm out driving. I'm working alone. And there are jobs if you work at a restaurant or if you work at a factory, you might be working with people and you're working hands on with people. But a lot of people are still again digitally working. So digital home, digital work. That makes sense. And now this is the real interesting thing: digital community. I think a lot of people are having digital only relationships. They're choosing to not go and establish themselves, at a some sort of club. And that doesn't not again not everybody, but you know what I mean. Like they're going to focus their time debating on Reddit threads or social media groups, or they're a gamer and all their friends are some sort of gamer name. They don't even know the real name of the person. They don't even know what they look like. And that's why dating is what it is today to some extent, right? It's a very interesting thing, right? So this whole world is becoming digital. The fourth place today, it's still very physical. You can't catch an Uber without me being in there. Now that's the catch though. You can't get on an airplane without sitting next to somebody. And again, it's hard to go to a restaurant and not necessarily talk to the waiter or the waitress. And again, it's again these are the Uber driver and the waiter and the wait. These are all they're not the main character in your relationships, and that's what I'm saying. They're strangers, but you have to talk to each other. That's ultimately what I'm getting at. You have to physically look somebody in the eye and talk to them. And if you've been spending your entire day working online and or at home by yourself working online and you're working online and then your community some sort of gamer relationship, that's why have you noticed a lot of younger people they struggle talking face to face with a human? That's the fourth place. It's with strangers. They don't handle themselves well in public. And I say a lot. It's that's not it's I hate generalizing. I'm just trying to come up with this theory because obviously there's a ton of amazing young people. This is not, and there's a bunch of older people that can't talk to people, but that's why there's a fourth place and it's going away. We are seeing autonomous cars replace human drivers in my world. And we're going to go to a McDonald's or a Taco Bell in the future where there's no humans working in that place. And we're going to go sit down at that table alone. We're not even going to get the food and eat with somebody else. There's going to be no human working in that place. So there's no strangers. And people, here's another way to look at it. Imagine if you go to a mall today, how many people are walking around with their headphones on, not even making eye contact? Go to the gym. That's another good place. The gym, you can go to so many gyms and where you don't have to even like talk to the people checking in. You can just swipe your phone and move on. You don't have to even say hello. And they're going away. It's going to be a gym that's run by autonomous AI because it's going to be cheaper to have a robot controlling entry and exit of that gym than a human. There'll be probably a screen where you can say, hey, how am I doing this workout right? And there's a camera watching you. No, you need to do it this way. You don't have to have physical in-person trainers. But that's the fourth place is strangers. That so I'm fleshing it out. I don't know if it's perfect. Let me know what you think. I think it's an interesting concept though, because again, the first, second, and third place, or first home, second work, third place, the community. Those are all pretty well thought out. This fourth place is just an experience I've been having as an Uber driver. I meet so many strangers. And now most people, they get in my car, they just ride. We're not talking about having to talk with your Uber driver, nothing, but there's a lot of times I get to learn so many new things from my Uber passengers. It's amazing. And we're strangers and we're never going to meet again for that short period of time in this fourth place we're together. And if you're good at talking with strangers or handling yourself with strangers, kind of interesting. I don't know. I had to think about that one, but I wanted to share it with you. I'd love your feedback, your thoughts on it. Hey, so my name is Levi. I created this whole channel because Uber drivers, I want you to make the most money that you possibly can. And there's a lot of good channels out there that kind of explain that stuff. But I also want you to be safe, healthy, and happy. I want you to enjoy the ride. And so for 2025, I want you to drive your way. Do it the way you want to do it. Don't get stuck focusing on what other people and other groups tell you how you're supposed to do it. Listen to them because they might have some good advice, but you're not obligated to do that. So for 2025, know that I want you to drive your way. I'm cheering for you. Be safe, be well. Bye.